Walters, Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles have won 39 road games. That's 9 more than their entire total from a year ago. Nick Markakis, J.J. Hardy, Nate McLeod, top of the order. Jones, Wieters, and Davis in the middle of the order. Reynolds, Quintanilla, and Machado. And Nick Markakis, 50 games at the leadoff spot. He's hit .350 in that time, and he has hit in the third spot 50 games as well and hit .256. So it's a dramatic improvement when Markakis is at the top of the order.
He has really helped out that offense of the Baltimore Orioles, helping them to that 76-59 record. That .350 has raised his average to 48 points to where it sits right now at .304. This is Brandon Morrow getting ready for his 16th start. Blue Jays turn tomorrow to try and stop that losing streak that they are in. He was sidelined for over 2 months with an oblique strain. A little sharper last time out against the Tampa Bay Rays, where he gave up just that 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. So they need Morrow to come up big here tonight.
Well, he certainly has the ability to be a stopper, and the Orioles are familiar with him. He's made 8 career starts against Baltimore, 3-3 record. Nick Markakis is set. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's just a bit outside. Looked like it was a pretty good pitch. Tim Wilkie, the home plate umpire tonight. Ball and a strike, couple of fastballs for Morrow to start the game.
You say Baltimore Orioles are familiar with him. This is the 4th time that he has matched up against the O's this year. And he's looking for a second win versus Baltimore.
Breaking balls upstairs. When Morrow made some adjustments last time out against Tampa Bay, he backed off his breaking ball a little bit and it became much more effective. There you see the numbers in 8 starts. Bouncing ball. Encarnacion has a big hop. He'll toss to Morrow. Covers the bag. Markakis is retired. Take a look at the defense behind Brandon Morrow. It's Davis, Rasmus, and Anthony Gose is starting in right field. Gose and Sierra figure to platoon the rest of the way down the stretch. Escobar Johnson up the middle. Echeverria has done a great job at third base. Encarnacion equally good at first. And Yorvik Torrealba, the catcher, for the 6th time tonight.
Yeah, and the first start for Anthony Gose since he has been recalled in right field. It's quasi platoon system that they're going to have. A right-hander on the mound. We'll see Gose in right field. There's a chance to see that good arm tonight.
J.J. Hardy takes a strike. Good fastball from Morrow. Hardy had a couple of hits in last night's game. Finished up 2 for 5. Drove in a run. Baltimore shut out the Blue Jays 12-0, and they racked up a season high 18 hits. This is popped up center of the infield. 4 infielders converging, and Escobar takes it right on top of the mound. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Brandon Morrow, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Fastball 59% of the time, and he's got different gears to it. He can throw at 92 and then pump it in there at 98. The slider, the split change, he uses that in a split grip. The curveball, Buck just mentioned about that curveball. That's the important pitch, and I think the pitch that separates him from what he did last year to what he's doing this year. He's a much more complete pitcher with that curveball changeup.
Nate McLeod batting third, and there's that breaking ball for a strike. Boy, that really slows down hitters when you can get that breaking ball over. They can't be so aggressive and get after your fastball.
That was the big theme all during spring training. Brandon Morrow using that breaking ball, using that changeup early in the count, and getting them off that fastball. He is a complete pitcher now.
He has done a terrific job of morphing into that pitcher, working with Torrealba tonight. 0-2. Cut on and missed. Boy, he makes quick work of Nate McLeod. He retires the Orioles in order in the first. 10 pitches for Brandon Morrow, and he breezes by Nate McLeod. Good fastball. Escobar, and you can see it looks like it's pretty light conversation as Farrell is trying to get everybody on the right page. 2-4 on this homestand for the Jays. They are 15 games under 500. Top of the order is Rajay Davis, Colby Rasmus, Edwin Encarnacion. Against the East, and obviously that's the big measuring stick for hitters in this division, how well you hit against your own division. 296, 10 doubles, 15 home runs. He's driven in 42 runs, and he has done a good job and been consistent all year long.
I love that on-base plus slugging percentage in the American League East. Pretty impressive. Miguel Gonzalez makes his first start of September after a very good August where he went 3-1 in 5 starts. His latest outing might have been his best. That was shutouts 7 innings against the New York Yankees with a career-high 9 strikeouts in that game. Nothing very fancy from Miguel Gonzalez, but a lot of strikes.
Good command of his fastball. He'll work that fastball all around the strike zone. He is 4-1 in his last 6 starts, including 2 wins against the Yankees. Gonzalez, this is upstairs to Rajay Davis. Davis had an infield hit in his first at-bat. He finished up 1 for 3 and gave way to a pinch hitter late in the ballgame. 162 for his last 19 games. And that's been a pretty familiar story for a lot of the Blue Jay bats.
At times when his swing gets a little bit long, that's when he gets into trouble. Talking to him today, he says, I just want to try and get on base. That's the only thing I want to worry about right here. Figure a way to get on to first base.
Drives that ball into right, but Markakis makes an easy play of it. Got a good read. It's 1 down. Take a look at the defense behind Miguel Gonzalez. They've committed just 22 errors in their last 50 games. They have really tightened up the defense. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. McLeod in left and Machado at third have really tightened up the defense. Hardy, Quintanilla, Reynolds, and Wieters, the Gold Glove catcher behind the plate.
Yeah, and he can shut down a running game. Blue Jays saw that firsthand back in Baltimore. Remember that game? He threw 3 Blue Jay base stealers out pretty easily, and that'll help you from trying to run on him. He is very good.
The Gold Glover and All-Star and a switch hitting catcher. A real luxury for the Orioles. Gonzalez jumps ahead 0-2. Pop back out of play. The Orioles are on a roll. They are tied with the New York Yankees atop the AL East, 76-59. Buck Showalter's been very pleased with the way the young pitching. Zach Britton last night, Miguel Gonzalez tonight. Newly acquired Joe Saunders have all pitched well. Fly ball into left. 2 down.
Take a look at the scouting report for Miguel Gonzalez for the Baltimore Orioles starter. He's got all 4 of the pitches: the fastball, slider, the changeup, and the curveball. He'll use the fastball early in the ball game and then start using that slider and the changeup more as the game goes along. Again, nothing really fancy or off the charts, if you will. The fastball just about 91 or 92 miles an hour, but he knows how to pitch and he throws a lot of strikes.
Miguel Gonzalez gave up 9 home runs in July, just 1 in August. Really settled down. He gets ahead of Edwin Encarnacion. Ball on the strike. Edwin has been the most consistent Blue Jay hitter all season long. His average now at 284, 37 home runs for Encarnacion. Fly ball into left. McLeod over to his left in the gap and makes the catch. So Miguel Gonzalez, 3 fly ball outs. That ends the first. We're scoreless after 1.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful night at Rogers Center. The roof is open and there's no threat of rain as there was last night when they chose to open the roof. We had a little bit of rain problem on the field, but the game was never interrupted because of the rain. Adam Jones will start things off for the Orioles. Jones is 9 for 25 against Brandon Morrow. He's also hit 2 home runs. I think the difference between Morrow now and a couple of years ago is how fluid and smooth his delivery is. There's not an awful lot of effort to generate velocity.
You know, you hear it all the time about pitchers repeating their delivery. And if they are in control of their bodies and they are able to repeat their delivery, those are the kind of guys that throw a lot of strikes. Morrow certainly has been able to do that. You don't see that effort like you saw before.
And there's a great slider. That strike to ball breaking ball. It's in the zone, then it's not. 2 balls and a strike to Adam Jones.
I should say over effort, where you try and hump up and throw the ball by a guy. Now everything is smooth and slow, and it's a great release point and a great tempo that he has every single game.
High and deep to left, Adam Jones with a high fly ball, and that's going to end up in the seats. Jones with his 3rd career home run against Brandon Morrow, number 27 for the season, and the Orioles are out in front 1-0.
17 of those 27 home runs now have either tied or put the Orioles ahead. So his home runs mean something. It's a fastball. 2-0. He gets a slider. They try to change up and throw a fastball. Tries to sneak one by him, but Adam Jones, he has had a great year this year against the Blue Jays.
It's his 6th home run of the season against the Blue Jays. Only Chris Davis has more.
They want the ball down and away, and this leaks up and over the middle of the plate. Good hitters are not going to miss those.
Matt Wieters takes one inside. It's a ball and a strike. Off-speed pitch sailed up and away, 2-1. Jones with the solo home run has given the Orioles a 1-0 lead. Career home run number 102 for Orioles center fielder. Another high breaking ball. 3-1 count.
Home runs are a big part of what the Orioles have done this year. I think that's separated them. It's helped them to score a lot of runs. They have now hit 169 home runs.
A pretty good wrecking crew with Chris Davis and Adam Jones, the way they have hit home runs against the Blue Jays. You mentioned Davis has 7 home runs against the Jays this year. Jones now with 6.
It will make up for a lot of mistakes, or it'll help pick up the ball club when you need to score some runs. If you're not hitting well with runners in scoring position, you start hitting home runs, and it can be a demoralizing factor for the pitcher and certainly help you.
Well, Chris Davis will step in with a man at first and nobody out. Baltimore has taken a 1-0 lead. They mentioned Chris Davis this season against the Blue Jays, a .429 average. His OPS is 1.5. He's scored 11 runs. He's hit 7 home runs, as you mentioned, and driven in 12. He's had quite a season against the Blue Jays.
Early in the year when the Orioles are here, they won a couple of games against the Blue Jays by hitting home runs late in a ball game. Chris Davis had one. Adam Jones had one. Wilson Betemit had a home run late in the game to help them win here at Rogers Center. It's been a big part of what they do.
Well, they've got a balanced attack, and it's not as if one guy has to carry the entire ball club. And they have spread it around. Davis, just 26 years old. He was picked up from the Texas Rangers, and there's some pretty gaudy numbers for him here at Rogers Center. A .462 average, 12 for 26. Pulls that ball off the plate inside. He had a similar start to his game last time out, and then he backed off with the breaking ball and got him back into a good delivery.
Started using it especially early in the count against the Tampa Bay Rays. And then following that up with a good fastball and a wipeout slider.
That missed away. Well, the problem you have when you're pitching to a power hitter like Davis is showing him a lot of pitches, and he's getting his timing. It's more refined with every pitch, has a better idea what he needs to do.
Yeah, when he first came up,
the ball falls beyond the reach, and Blue Jays always played Davis into that shift.
has a long way to go for Escobar to try and get that ball. But when Davis first came up, you could pitch to him. He struck out a lot. You could really crowd him with the fastball. He was chasing a lot of balls in the dirt. But now he's a much more refined hitter. You see Escobar goes a long way, just can't come up with it.
Because the pull defense has shifted around toward the right side of the field, you can see where Escobar started from on that pop-up. Long run. Now he's got to catch his breath. Full count. Leaders at first base. Well, you're right about Chris Davis. He had a blind spot down and in. You could throw him a breaking ball down and in, and he'd swing right over the top of it every single time. Then you could elevate the fastball. He'd chase, but he's much more disciplined hitter now.
Much more disciplined. How about that approach right there on 3-2? That tough pitch by Morris. Cuts his swing down, fouls the ball off, lives for another day.
And back-to-back walks after the leadoff home run. So your Villarreal, the catcher, will go out and have a chat with Morrow. And this is where the Orioles are dangerous. There's nobody, as we mentioned, with gaudy numbers, but there are consistent power threats up and down the order. After Jones hit the leadoff single, Wieters walked, Davis walked, and now Mark Reynolds is hitting with 2 on.
It's almost like the Blue Jays attacked last year. Remember, they hit a lot of home runs, and it accounted for a lot of their runs. They didn't manufacture a lot of. Baltimore's team speed is average at best, or maybe even below average, but they hit a lot of home runs. That makes up for a lot of shortcomings.
Mark Reynolds had a 3-hit game last night, including a 3-run home run. That got the scoring started, and once the floodgates opened, couldn't slow down the Orioles. He's had quite a road trip. He had a couple of multi-home run games in New York against the Yankees, and then his 3-run home run really propelled the Orioles last night. He's late on that fastball. 0-2.
And sometimes it takes a broken bat to get you back on track. He was sawed off in last night's game and just hit it in a good spot his first time up. He was left with the handle, and that was it. Put him in a good frame of mind, and next time up he hit that 3-run home run.
I 0-2. Pops it up down the right side, but that'll fall on the warning track.
Here is that home run that we were just talking about. Down and away, and it's up and in. And right into his uppercut swing. Rajay thinks he has a beat on it. He just doesn't climb the wall, and it just falls into the bullpen for that home run.
Decent numbers with runners in scoring position, and 42 driven in. Strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner. That's the first out of the inning. Second strikeout for Brandon Morrow.
That's one of the pitches that he has become very accustomed to throwing. Very comfortable with that down and away fastball, and it means so much for a right-handed power hitter to be able to carve up that corner just like that. Hit the glove.
Second baseman Omar Quintanilla making his 27th start of the season at second. First and second, one out. Quintanilla last year with the Texas Rangers. Shows bunt and takes one upstairs. Quintanilla appeared in just 11 games with Texas. Spent most of the season in AAA at Round Rock. Most of his big league time has been with the Colorado Rockies. Still looking for his first hit against the Blue Jays. 2-0. Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead on the home run by Adam Jones to start the top of the second. Morrow's just a hair off both sides of the plate. He hasn't really zeroed in on that strike zone yet.
Yeah, to the lefties when he tries to go inside. It looks like he yanked a couple of his balls off the plate. That time it looked like he tried to guide it to the outside part of the plate. Falls behind.
3-0. Another walk. That's 3 walks in the inning. So it's been quite an inning for Brandon Morrow. A solo home run, 3 walks and a strikeout. The bases are loaded, 1 out, and Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, will make his way toward the mound.
Walks, for the most part, haven't been a problem this year for Brandon Morrow. He's been all over that strike zone.
Morrow and Walton have done a great job of working together and refining his delivery, his approach, working on the curveball and the changeup, as you mentioned, to really round out his complement of pitches.
Right now, he just hasn't been consistent with that fastball. Since coming back, reinstated from the disabled list, in the 2 starts, his walks per 9 innings actually ratio has gone down. But tonight, a little bit wild.
Wieters at third, Davis at second, and Quintanilla at first. Manny Machado, the rookie third baseman, with the bases loaded. Bouncing ball towards second. Kelly Johnson has to go to first, and Wieters will come in to score. Machado will pick up an RBI on the ground out, and the Orioles have taken a 2-0 lead.
You know, that's one thing, you know, watching them this year as opposed to years past, they do a good job of making productive outs. We've seen a couple of sacrifice flies to score runs. They run the bases well in this series. And that time, Machado gets the runner in from third base with less than 2 outs.
Good observation, but it's really apparent when you're in first place how important those productive outs are. It's right there in front of you. Hey, get him over. We need that run. Second and third, 2 outs. When you're a second division ball club and you're just closing out the season, hitters are thinking, I need a hit. I don't need to get a runner over. But it's a totally different story when you're playing for the postseason, a chance to play in the playoffs.
Your at-bats are a little bit sharper. Your concentration level is a little bit higher. Every pitch means something.
Well, it sure does. Everything is magnified. Every situation is magnified. Every managerial decision is magnified. But that's why you play the game. Look at the intensity on the bench. Everybody focused on the field. Morrow falls behind Marquez, is 2-1.
Well, you play all summer to get here to September. You bust hard in spring training, and you have a good April or May that turns into June and July, August, and now you're in September and you're playing meaningful games. It'd be a shame to just flush the season down the toilet if you're not paying attention.
Ground ball. Kelly Johnson to his right. Throws out Markakis, and the inning is over. But the Orioles have taken a 2-0 lead. A home run by Adam Jones and an RBI by Manny Machado. Every time Toronto hits a home run, you could win big. Audio, home theater systems, and big TVs like an 80-inch Sharp Aquos Quattro. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Out of the second inning, Miguel Gonzalez has been on a roll. We mentioned his 4-1 record over his last 6 starts. He has wins against the Yankees, Kansas City, Boston, and the Yankees. And he's done a nice job. When you look at his 2 wins against New York, they both came in New York, in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. It's the first time a rookie has done that since another former Oriole, Tom Phoebus, many, many moons ago, 1967.
Did you face him?
Yep. Tom Phoebus, he used to get up on his tiptoes and throw that curveball over the top.
Twice in 33 days.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive in that ballpark against the Yankees.
Adam Lind will try to get things going for the Jays. He takes the strike. It's 1-1. Late movement, catches that inside corner. If you want to know how you get back to contention and turn your season around, you do it by pitching. And the Orioles are pitching very well of late. Back up the middle. Quintanilla didn't have much of a chance at all. He makes the throw, but he had no shot at getting Lind. It'll be an infield hit for Adam Lind.
They're really playing him the pole also.
So Lind gets on against Miguel Gonzalez, and we mentioned his last several starts. He's pitched very well. Those 3 wins, Kansas City, Boston, and New York. Opponents have hit just .220 against him. He's got a whip right over 1, and he allowed just 1 home run. We mentioned the long ball was plaguing him early. He gave up 9 home runs in July, but obviously he's made a dramatic adjustment.
Yeah, using his pitching a little bit better. Using his changeup when he has to. Got one of the highest chase rates in the American League on that changeup. It's very effective, but he likes to establish fastball first time through.
Gonzalez was originally signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Angels in 2005. Boston took him in a Rule 5 draft in 2008. Then he had Tommy John surgery. He's had quite a career. Had to battle through a lot of injuries. There's a fly ball to right. Markakis makes the catch. Escobar is out. But Gonzalez, born in Guadalajara, Mexico, and he was pitching in winter ball, and Luis Ayala saw him throwing and mentioned to the Orioles, hey, you ought to take a look at this guy. He did not come to camp with the big league ball club. He joined the team in the minor leagues in extended spring training and just got better and better and kept pitching himself into good situations.
And we have said it before.
There's a drive toward the gap, and that's going to get down. It bangs off the wall. Linda's headed toward third. He's being waved around third. Quintanilla's throw to the plate is not in time. Kelly Johnson drives in Lind all the way from first base. And the Blue Jays have cut into that Oriole lead.
First pitch swinging. Kelly Johnson early in the count, not waiting around. Runner on first base. Looked like he pitched right down Broadway for him. The key to this is it stays in the ballpark. Watch where it hits the wall and then stays on that warning track. And that's going to allow Adam Lind to come all the way around. Aggressive base running as they send him from first base. Really nice throw from Quintanilla. A real strong throw as Johnson picks up the RBI.
17th double of the season, and for Kelly Johnson, that's his 50th RBI. Your Victorialba, Johnson thought about going to third, and he might have been all right. His initial thought was good. The ball was hit behind him. J.J. Hardy's momentum took him up the middle, and it would have been impossible for Hardy to go back to third base.
Yeah, the momentum was just too hard just to get to the ball. There's no way he would have been able to make a play if you're a runner at second base. And you're always taught anything hit right at you or to your left, you can go ahead and go to third base. The last guy you'd look at when you're standing at second base is the shortstop. You always want to find where the shortstop's playing, so a play like that, you're able to move up.
2 outs now for Adeiny Echeverria. Echeverria has done a nice job making adjustments. When he first got here, pitchers were knocking the bat out of his hand. And he has since made some adjustments. He's got a little mini 4-game hit streak alive.
Yeah, the game was fast for him. Big difference between AAA and the big leagues. And the speed of the game, how it's played. Stronger men up here play, and they hit the ball just a little bit harder. They throw the ball just a little bit harder, and he's had an adjustment period. But he is coming along quite nicely. I watch him take BP every single day, and you can just see him getting better and better.
He's got good hands, and hitting coaches talk about it all the time, how the hands go to the ball. He's got quick hands, and he can get to the fastball. And it's just going to be a matter of time before he recognizes pitches, learns more pitchers around the league. And Dwayne Murphy is very confident that he's going to hit.
And there's power. There's power in his body, and there's power in his swing. All you have to do is just watch him every day, the way he attacks.
Ball is up and away, and he went after that pitch.
Yeah, that's a good swing. Now, when I talk about power, I'm not talking about 30 home run power. But I think eventually he could be a shortstop that's good for maybe 15, 17 home runs a year. Just watching his bat speed.
One and two, 2 outs. Breaking ball, bounced foul. Echeverria has both of his hitting coaches here in the ballpark now. His AAA hitting coach, Chad Mottola, has come up with the AAA players just to help them and keep an eye and give Dwayne Murphy a little support as well.
And a scouting report on the young kids that he watched all summer long down in Las Vegas.
Off the plate.
He had watched Echeverria yesterday, Chad Mottola. Again, he has watched him all summer long, and he said you can see he's a little bit timid still here at the big league level as he's trying to catch up to the game. He says there's much more in there from what he saw yesterday.
Well, it's understandable that a youngster would come up and be a little intimidated by his surroundings. He doesn't know his teammates as well as he did his AAA teammates. But he and Moises Sierra have made a nice adjustment in their first taste of big league baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kelly Johnson at second. Full count. Another rookie stands on deck. Anthony Gose, the right fielder. Anthony's anxious to finish up on a positive note. This is his first start since coming back from Las Vegas. Full count. Fouled off Matt Wieters' mask. He's checking to make sure it's still in one piece. That rocked him pretty good.
Boy, that knocked his face back, didn't it? Hit it right in the face mask. It's almost like a boxer who takes a punch.
Quite a battle going on between Miguel Gonzalez and Adeiny Echeverria. Be another full count pitch. Breaking ball pulled to third. Long throw for Machado, and he's got a big arm. Machado throws out Echeverria. That ends the bottom of the second, but Kelly Johnson jumps on the first pitch and drives it to the gap in right center. An RBI double makes it 2-1 Orioles. Fan Appreciation Weekend will take place September 29th and 30th. The Blue Jays will welcome in the New York Yankees. Saturday, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Junior Jays Fan Appreciation T-shirt. Sunday, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Fan Appreciation Player T-shirt courtesy of Home Hardware. Players include Jose Bautista, Brett Laurie, Casey Jansen, Edwin Encarnacion, Jade Pierre Encibia, and Colby Rasmus. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for Fan Appreciation Weekend. The Yankees are in town for a 4-game series. J.J. Hardy popped up the shortstop his first time up. Drives this one to center. Rasmus gets back pedals and makes the pitch. Baltimore not focusing on their next task at hand, but they will have a 4-game series against the New York Yankees at home beginning tomorrow night. Jason Hamill will open it up, making his first start since his knee surgery.
Right knee surgery, and he threw a bullpen here the other day. Said that he is fine. Where is Tampa starting tomorrow? Do you know by any chance? As the Yankees and the Orioles start pounding each other, maybe Tampa makes up some ground.
Tampa will play the Texas Rangers at home.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. Colby Erasmus makes the second out of the inning. 2 down here in the top of the third. More MLB right here on Sportsnet. Tomorrow the Yankees will be in Baltimore for the start of that 4-game series. It all begins right here on Sportsnet. All 4 channels at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time. And the Yankees are reeling. They have been tied now by the Orioles, and Tampa Bay is just a game and a half behind. Out west, interesting development is the A's have been swept by the Angels in a 3-game series. Angels finished off that today, and the A's were swept and outscored 21-5 in the 3 games.
I think the Angels are a team when their backs are against the wall. I think they've got enough talent that they're going to come out fighting. And maybe that's a team that gets hot at the right time. We've been waiting all season long for them and the Detroit Tigers to like really put a super hot streak together. Maybe the Angels are going to be like the Cardinals were a couple of years ago, where you get hot at the right time and just carry it right through.
Now their next series will be against the Detroit Tigers, so they're going to have a chance to match up against the Tigers. I mean, all these teams are going to play one another. It's really interesting schedule. But at the start of play today, the Angels were 7.5 back of the Texas Rangers. They knocked off the Orioles, the Oakland A's, who were 4 back of the Rangers. Jones chases and goes too far. Brandon Morrow has a good bounce back inning. His offense scored him a run. It's a 2-1 ball game, and he retires the Orioles in order. It's Adam Jones to commit on a breaking ball down and away. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of TD Canada. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Hopefully they will see the Blue Jays come back. It's a 2-1 Oriole lead. John Farrell's team just has really been struggling with the bat since the 1st of August. As a team, they've hit .214. They've scored 95 runs. Give you an idea how far back of the pack they are. Texas has scored 190 runs in the same time frame.
That'll help to dust over some problems if you have some pitching problems when you can score like that.
Anthony Gose batting .181 in the big leagues. He bunts it up the first baseline and pulls it foul. Gose hit .233 over his last 10 games down in the minors. His season average at AAA Las Vegas ended up at 286. Hit 21 doubles, 10 triples, 5 homers, and drove in 43. Span of 102 ball games.
He is a work in progress.
Down the left side, McLeod, long run, got a chance for it, and tipped off his glove. And he knows he had a chance to make a catch.
Yeah, he did everything right except catch the baseball. Former center fielder, so you know he's got some wheels and he's got some range. He slides before he gets to that wall to absorb the contact, but just does not come up with the baseball.
Yeah, he got a glove on it, and he did everything right. He knew he was running out of room once he got to that warning track and slid to break his momentum, but it's tipped off his glove. So Ghost will get another chance.
But Anthony Ghost is a work in progress, and the good thing about that is he's ready to learn, and he's listening, and he's trying to take it all in. And I think athletes like this will figure it out eventually.
Little tapper out in front of the mound. Gonzalez quickly over to first to Reynolds to retire Anthony Ghost. 1 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays will leave after this ball game and head to Boston to have an off day on Thursday before they pick up the schedule on Friday night, a 3-game weekend schedule against the Red Sox. Rajay Davis, long deep drive to left, home run, Rajay Davis. Number 7 for the Blue Jays left fielder.
You know, it looked like a breaking ball, and that really sped the bat up for Rajay Davis. You hit the ball out in front on a spinning breaking ball. Rajay looked like he was waiting for it. Keeps that front shoulder closed, has that head down, and he knows that he got all of that one. No feeling in the bat as it clears the wall in left field. And we are all tied.
Brand new ball game. It's 2-2. Seven home runs now for Rajay Davis as he continues to establish a new career high.
He told me he was going to get an extra base hit tonight. Told me that down on the field before the ball game. And he did.
He had a line drive into that bullpen in left. Looked like a splitter, and Rasmus strikes out. 2 down. There's Chad Mottola. We mentioned Mottola, as the hitting coach at AAA Las Vegas, has been called up to help with the extra guys here. They'll do flip drills down in the cage, and he'll keep an eye on his young hitters, trying to monitor what they did. It worked for them all spring long. He and Dwayne Murphy worked very closely together.
Also another set of eyes and an idea, because he watched them all summer long. An extra arm to throw some extra BP.
Edwin Encarnacion flied out to left in his only at bat. Skies this one into shallow right field. Markakis calls for it, makes the catch behind the second baseman, and the inning is over. But Rajay Davis, a 1-out home run, number 7 on the season. A line shot into the bullpen in left. We're tied at 2. Great Blue Jays schedule in September right here at Rogers Center. The Seattle Mariners will be in town starting September 11th, a 3-game set. Then the Boston Red Sox follow them 14th, 15th, and 16th, also a 3-gamer. And finally, the New York Yankees at the end of September, a 4-game series against the Bronx Bombers. For tickets to these great September games, log on to BlueJays.com. Order your tickets online, or you can call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Oriole catcher Matt Wieters, he walked and scored in the second. It was a good changeup, good sink on that changeup, and Wieters was fooled.
Shown that ability to be able to throw an off-speed pitch in a fastball count. And Morrow using his changeup and curveball. This is starting to look like his last starts. Like the Tampa Bay Rays, they started using that off-speed stuff early in the count and then went back to that fastball.
Wieters hits a ground ball to second. Kelly Johnson is there. One down. Well, it's not unusual to think that Brandon Morrow might have a little rust on his pitching. He was injured on June 11th. This is just his 3rd start back. And it's going to take him a while. And we saw it the last time how he adjusted as the game went on. I mean, you can't really complain about what Morrow's done here. He's allowed 1 hit.
One hit, lost the strike zone very briefly there in the second inning when he had those 3 walks.
Chris Davis with the count in his favor. Can't hit that one.
Nope.
I don't care if you know it's coming. That's in a great spot. Good fastball. I mean, that's all you're going to do is maybe break your bat, maybe flare it in the left.
I think this is a good at bat for Brandon Morrow to establish something and reach back for a little something extra. I think if he does that, he makes a statement to the rest of the Orioles. Use that fastball.
1-2. Tried to hit that outside corner again at 97. He stepped on it a little bit.
Got a little bit too much on top of that one. And then it went off the plate. He threw a breaking ball the first time, and now each fastball, the next 3 fastballs, each one of them a little bit harder.
There's that good breaking ball, and Torrealba accentuating the fact he wanted it down. Tapped the dirt with his glove, and he got that slider down where he wanted it.
3 straight fastballs, and then that slider finishes them off. 4 strikeouts now for Morrow. Watch Torrealba, the catcher. Got it. He wants the ball down right here, and Brandon Morrow throws it right where he wants it. That's the fastball. That was the one before, but the next pitch, he said, I want it down on the ground. And Brandon Morrow, Bikes, threw it right into his glove for the strikeout.
Mark Reynolds tries to check, and did, according to Paul Schreiber.
All right, one more time. There it is. Hit my glove. Look at that. He almost threw it right where he was holding it.
Check swing tapper out in front of home. Torrealba bare hands it and flips to first for the out. Another good inning for Brandon Morrow. He's retired 8 in a row. It'll be Adam Lind when we come back, followed by Yunel Escobar and Kelly Johnson. He's got an RBI double already tonight. fourth inning, a lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and Aqua's LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerun.sharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the fourth inning here at Rogers Center. Adam Lynn starts things off. Lynn had an infield base hit and scored back in the second. Adam scored from first base on an RBI double by Kelly Johnson. That splitter that bounces right on home plate.
Ooh, Adam was thinking of one thing right there. Untie this ball game with one swing. Sitting on the fastball. Check out this swing. He sees it. And what a finish.
Ball got on him a little bit. You could see it was back over home plate when he fouled it back. 1-2. Looked like a backdoor cutter. He got a piece of it and stays alive.
Those kind of swings that he just took, if nothing else, it gets you loose.
Loosen up the old back.
That's right.
Upstairs and too high. Miguel Gonzalez gave up a home run to Rajay Davis, and that's something he hasn't done lately. He allowed 9 home runs in the month of July, but only 1 in August into September. Last home run before Davis connected came in Kansas City, or at home against Kansas City on the 10th of August.
Sal Perez hit that one from the Kansas City Royals. Their outstanding young catcher.
And just off the outside corner, it's full count. Looked like a cut fastball. Looked like it might have been low, but Tim Welke very emphatically calling strike 3, and Lind is done.
Yeah. Possibly away and down. I think that's what surprised Lind a little bit on this one. But Tim Welke, you're right, emphatically calls it strike 3, and Lind can't believe it.
That's the first out of the inning. It's the second strikeout for Miguel Gonzalez. He jumps ahead of Escobar. Yunel flied out to right in the second inning. Gonzalez has pretty interesting stuff. Good movement on his fastball. We've seen a very effective splitter. He cuts the ball on both sides of the plate.
And he throws strikes, keeps the ball down, and that's what Buck Showalter is happy about. When he describes the way that he pitches, he said he just lets it fly. He really trusts himself. And just throws it to a spot.
One hopper right to second. Quintanilla over to first, and Escobar is done. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. There you see the AL Central standings. The White Sox and Tigers, if they played one another, they just can't get anything right. Tigers having a tough time with the Indians. Find themselves a game and a half back in the AL Central. What a player Cabrera is. Tremendous run producer. Hits for a high average. Coming into tonight's action, he's only 3 points behind Mike Trout in the batting race. I mean, there is an outside possibility he could win the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
He's only 4 home runs behind Josh Hamilton and Adam Dunn. They're both tied at 38. Cabrera with 34.
Tonight was number 35. Every time I watch Tiger highlights, he's going deep.
Yeah.
And big home runs, too.
Long, big, far home runs in crucial situations.
That's another race that's going to be very interesting, the MVP race.
Are you of the mind the MVP has to come from a winning ball club?
Not necessarily. You know, it doesn't say most valuable player on the winning team. It says the most valuable player in the American League.
There's a splitter, and Johnson strikes out. A couple of strikeouts in the inning. Miguel Gonzalez has 3 in the game. It's a 2-2 game after 4. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Straight in this ball game, and he's in a 2-2 tie. He's allowed just 1 hit, and he continues to improve with every start. His last 2 starts since coming off the disabled list, numbers not that impressive. One thing he's going to improve on, pitches per inning, but overall he's getting a little bit more of the rust off his pitching each time he goes to the mound.
A little sharper. I like the strikeouts. 12 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs. His first start, I thought he deserved better in that first start against the Baltimore Orioles. A little sloppy defense cost him a few runs in that game, and it cost him a few pitches, and he can only go 4 2/3. A little bit better last time out against Tampa Bay, a little sharper. And then tonight he's given up 1 hit.
Lost the grip on that breaking ball. It sails up and away. Omar Quintanilla, second baseman. Quintanilla making his 27th start at second. Robert Andino has done most of the work at second base, with Brian Roberts out most of the season with injury.
We saw Ryan Flaherty when we were in Baltimore. Did a nice job there. Another young player. Buck Showalter has done a good job of using his whole team. And they've had a lot of player moves this year.
Driven into the seats down the left side. 2-2 count. Quite a dramatic turnaround for the Baltimore. As we mentioned, they went into the last weekend of the season a year ago, 67-92. Not much to play for. But they had the Boston Red Sox at Camden Yard, and they won 2 of 3 against Boston to knock them out of the playoff picture. Good fastball as Quintanilla strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Brandon Morrow. We will be in Boston right there at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox. It's a 3-game series. It all starts Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, a 3-game set against the Red Sox. Wonder what's going on in Boston these days.
What a road trip.
Oh, man. They are out west, and the Blue Jays will be tucked away in their beds long before the Red Sox even think about landing in Boston. Take a look at the probable pitching matchup in that 3-game series. Henderson Alvarez will go up against the left-hander Felix Dubron. Jay Happ on Saturday against Daisuke Matsuzaka, and Carlos Villanueva against Clay Buchholz. And if you're wondering where's Ricky Romero in that mix, they're going to skip Romero one time through the rotation just to give him a breather. John Farrell mentioned that the good outing that Ricky had against New York was on 7 days rest, and thinks that Ricky might benefit from the extra days rest, and they've got some options with off days on either side of that Boston series.
Thursday and Monday off days, so go ahead. You got plenty of arms to go out there. Give him just a little bit of a blow, skip him one time, pitch him when you come back here at Rogers Center. I think that's a good idea.
One thing we'll see is probably a 6-man rotation once they get to that 24th of September doubleheader against the Orioles. Because of that most recent rain out in Baltimore, there'll be a traditional doubleheader Monday night. That's a fair ball. Laz Diaz, the umpire, waving it fair, and the fans lean over and make a play and then throw it back on the field as if they never got involved.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what it cost Brandon Morrow and the Blue Jays 90 feet. The ball was hit hard by Machado, and Rajay Davis has become very adept at going over there, playing that ball off the wall. So he might have been able to hold him to a single. But once that fan reaches out over the plate or over onto the playing field, it's a double. Machado was just at first base.
Yeah, that ball was hit so hard, Davis might have been able to dig it out and keep him from going to second. But once that fan got involved, it was academic. He was going to end up at second base. Top of the order now for Markakis. There's a good fastball for a strike. It's a ball and a strike. Last year in September, the Blue Jays were contemplating shutting down Brandon Morrow. Thinking, well, you know what, let's just shut him down, keep him fresh for the offseason. But they decided to let him finish, and I think that did wonders for him. I think it showed him that he could cross the finish line healthy, effective, and he had some of his best games in September. And that sent him into the postseason with a real good feeling about himself.
And you have that, and you can carry it over. I have seen that for years and years and years in baseball. Guys who finish up strong offensively, wouldn't you know, the next year they have another good year.
Get off to a great start.
Yep. You're in a good positive frame of mind.
Well, I think what it allowed Morrow to do was go into spring training and focus on curveball and changeup, because he said everything else is in good shape given the way I pitched in September.
How much does the commitment by the Blue Jays play into Brandon Morrow's comfort level?
Oh, I think it has a lot to do with it. You know, players will always tell you, hey, you know, it's not about the money and everything else. You know what? It's always about the money.
Right.
And now he's got the financial security of a multi-year deal and the peace of mind of knowing that that's not an issue. 3-2, 1 out. Markakis stays alive. But you know what? It's professional sports. I mean, your job is to earn a living and develop consistency where the team can count on you. And when you do that, you'll be rewarded. And Morrow was duly rewarded.
That's why you play. You know, guys will say, oh, I'm here for the team and I want to win. Yeah, you do. You do. You also want to make a nice living. And once that is taken out of the way, you can really concentrate on being the best that you can be.
Well, it just allows you to experiment with things. And we saw Morrow all spring long, and if you didn't know what he was doing, you said, is he hurt?
Yeah.
He's out there just flipping it up there, and he's throwing change-ups and curveballs. He must be hurt. That wasn't the case at all. He knew he had his fastball and slider. They were golden. They were all neatly wrapped up and bundled and put away. So he wanted to bring the curveball and changeup up to the same level, and he's done that.
Instead of trying to make a team, he's out there trying to make himself a better pitcher. And the confidence of a multi-year contract can do that.
Full count, one out. Markakis, the batter. Hanging tough. Quite a battle going on. When you look at Brandon Morrow and his status around baseball, he matches up very favorably in several categories, and this one is always one that's kind of glamorous. Strikeouts per 9 innings for the last 3 seasons, and Morrow's atop the list.
That is over 3 years, so it's not just a 6-month period or a 2-month period. This is 3 full years of Major League Baseball, so he has proven that he can do it consistently, and that's always what you want to see.
Another 3-2 pitch to Markakis. Popped in the air. Rajay Davis is there. He makes the catch, and after a long battle, Morrow wins it against Markakis. Two down. Manny Machado, the rookie, hit a 1-out double inside the bag at third. Fan reached over and made contact with it. He was awarded second base. Now Morrow's trying to leave him there. Downstairs. J.J. Hardy has been an integral part of what this Orioles team has done. He stabilized shortstop. He has given them another power bat. This is his second full season in Baltimore. Again, the appeal down to Paul Schreiber. He says no swing, that Hardy checked in time.
You know, for a team that was struggling early in the season to catch the baseball, J.J. Hardy was really the stabilizing factor. John Farrell not real happy with that check swing call. He is the #1 ranked defensive shortstop in the American League, just 6 errors. And that's what you want. You want a guy who makes the routine play day in and day out.
There's a strike. I think that's the most difficult aspect of baseball to quantify. Defense. I mean, it's really arbitrary. J.J. Hardy catches everything he gets to. He's got great hands. Does he have the range of Elvis Andrus? Probably not. Look at Kelly Johnson, positioned perfectly at second. The inning is over. Hardy's retired, and Machado is stranded at second. Still a 2-2 ball game. We're headed for the bottom of the 5th. Thank you, Jamie. And there'll be more Yankee baseball on the air tomorrow. The Yankees will be in Baltimore at Oriole Park at Camden Yards to take on the Orioles. It all starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific. Buck Showalter will send Jason Hamill to the mound, and he'll be opposed by the youngster David Phelps for the Yankees. And the Yankees, on Russell Martin's 2-run ground rule double, have taken a 3-1 lead down in St. Petersburg. But nobody's watching the scoreboard here. No. None of those Orioles are watching the scoreboard.
Too early.
It's never too early. It's September.
It is September, but we're still in single digits. I think you got to get into double digits of September, don't you?
You can always look ahead and say, you know what, if we stay in front, we can determine our own fate.
You know, that's got to be hard for a team that wasn't expected to do anything, and now they find themselves in September and they're thinking a little bit differently.
Are you of the mind that you have to knock on the door before you can win?
Baseball's proven that you don't have to do that. How many worst to first have we seen over the last 10 or 15 years?
Toriyama reaches for it and pokes it towards second. Quintanilla throws him out. So the former Ranger second baseman throws out the former Ranger catcher. That's the first out of the bottom of the fifth.
I think it doesn't hurt that you could, you know, prove that you can knock on the door before winning it all.
I think one thing has changed with the divisions and now the 2 wild cards. I think there are a lot more options. Years ago, when you were playing for a National League and American League title, you had so many teams to go through.
Yeah.
You really had to learn how to win, especially late in the season. Third baseman Danny Echeverria goes after the first pitch and fouls it. Another thing that's changed dramatically in baseball in general. September baseball used to feature salary drives. There were no such things as multi-year contracts. And each year you were trying to put your numbers up as high as possible, put your team in the best possible shape so you could win and propel yourself to a better salary next year.
The high major league minimum and the multi-year contracts have taken care of that, haven't they?
Yeah. And you know what? You make $480,000 this year. You're going to make $480,000 next year. You make the team.
That goes up next year to $500,000.
What's another 20 million here or there? 20,000.
20,000, right?
Yeah.
But any way you slice it, I think with more divisions and more wild cards, you got more chances. So it makes for a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a great month, and you know there's so many races going on. And last year, remember at this time, we didn't think there was going to be any.
Yeah.
Boston was in good shape. Atlanta was in good shape. And you said, well, pennant races. No pennant races this year. Certainly proved to be not the case. Strike 3 call. Gonzalez finds the outside corner. Echeverria is called out on strikes. That's the 4th strikeout for Gonzalez.
Ain't on that outside corner. I'll tell you what, when you've got more teams involved and the games start coming off the calendar, boy, there's pressure. Those last 2 weeks, and you know you've got to win this game, or you don't have a whole lot of games or months to catch up.
Yeah.
Do or die.
Yeah, you're running out of games. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, in April you say, well, you know, we can get hot.
Yeah.
Well, you can get hot, but if you only got 10 games left, you can only get so hot.
That's why veteran teams, guys who have been around, they don't panic. They don't freak out. They just, you know, hey, been here, I've done that. I know what I have to do. I know myself. That's why I like those older teams in September.
And then you get to the fine line to just too old.
Good points.
Whether those legs are wearing down in September and your bats are slowing down and everything's kind of catching up to you. Anthony Ghost goes after that splitter and misses.
They always said the first thing to go are the legs, right? And it hurts. Your body physically hurts if you play every day. And now you're into September and you're still playing every day. Every part of your body hurts.
Off the plate inside. Full count to Anthony Ghost. 2 outs. drive toward the gap, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Watch him run. Ghost is around second. He's headed for third. Here's the throw, and it's cut off. Wow, can he motor?
He knows that Gonzalez doesn't want to walk him, so he's got to challenge him with a fastball. As he gets to 3-2 fastball right down the middle, that's smoked into the gap. And once it touches the ground and goes all the way to the wall, that great speed comes out. And you can see he was low flying for that triple.
Second triple of the season in the big leagues. He had 10 down in AAA. He is fun to watch. He hits the ball in the gap, and boy, that opposite field stroke is a pretty one. Rajay Davis homered his last time up. Gose has to be mindful that Gonzalez has thrown a lot of split finger pitches. It's a pitch he can bounce in the dirt. Davis hits it right to the shortstop. Sure-handed J.J. Hardy throws him out. So the two-out triple gets stranded at third as Gonzalez makes a good pitch on Davis. We have completed 5. It's 2-2 here at Rogers Center. At Boston Pizza. Saturday, September 15th, Blue Jays will welcome in the Boston Red Sox. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. There are special kids price tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays for your tickets for Junior Jays Saturday at 416-341-1234. You can always log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Heck of a ball game. 2-2 tie here into the 6th inning. Number 3 batter Nate McClouth has gone 0 for 2 so far. Two and 0. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Brandon Mile making his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list. And he appears to be getting sharper and sharper with every inning.
Yeah, he's pitching tonight. He's not just rearing back and throwing the ball by hitters. He is using the curveball, although we've seen a few of them slip out of his hand tonight. He has used his changeup and fastball counts very effectively. Here's another one.
Well, that's a tough pitch. You have to respect Morrow's 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You get a fastball count at 3-1, and he throws you a changeup.
And it's all about feel. Some days you feel good at your release point with your fastball. Some days you feel good with your changeup. And tonight his changeup is working.
Strikeout number 6 for Brandon Morrow. 1 out here in the 6th. Fans, a reminder, Thursday night football kicks off September 13th when the Chicago Bears travel to Green Bay to meet the Packers. It's NFL on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. Thursday night NFL is back. How about the opener tonight? Cowboys and the Giants.
That's tonight? How did I miss that?
I don't know. You're all wrapped up in baseball.
I think, yeah, that's it. I'm also thinking about Monday night.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
The Bengals.
That's when the season really starts.
There's a line drive to left field. Adam Jones with his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 3.
Well, he's a good player. He's got power. He's got 13 stolen bases this year. He plays a Gold Glove center fielder. He's young. Now you see why the Orioles invested so much money in him.
Yeah, he's a leader too. He wants to be great. He wants to be the lead dog. He said, if we lose, come and talk to me because I've done something that helped contribute to that loss. He wants to be front and center. Wieters hits the ball to second. Should be 2. Long toss from Johnson. Escobar bobbled it and still had time to throw out Wieters. That ends the inning. So Kelly Johnson tosses to the shortstop, Yunel Escobar. He bobbles for a moment, but has the strong arm to throw out Wieters and end the inning. Fans, enter the Hit a Home Run contest with Sharp on Facebook today. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Aquos. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. Brandon Morrow gets a handshake from John Farrell and Bruce Walton for a job well done. He doesn't seem like he's thrilled about the decision, but he goes 6 innings, holds the Orioles to 2 runs on 3 hits. The only problem he had was in that second inning. Gave up a leadoff home run to Jones. Had all 3 of his walks. They came in that inning. And the Orioles scored 2 runs. Other than that, he breezed through this lineup.
Yeah, one of them came around to score. That was Matt Wieters right after the home run on that walk. And that was it. Sharper. And I think as you get down close to the end of the season, there's no sense really pushing guys and extending them, especially with the reinforcements that the Blue Jays have out in their bullpen.
That's an interesting topic of discussion, the reinforcements you have in your bullpen in September. Buck Showalter is very opinionated about that. You play 5 months of the season with a 25-man roster. Then you get into the most important month of the baseball season and you change the rules. You expand the roster to 40. Buck believes that you should designate 25 players in September at the start of every series, and that's your limit. Don't change the number of players you have access to.
So you can bring up 30 or 35,
many as you want,
but only 25 can play in that series.
You can only activate 25 for the series.
I like that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. The whole idea about September.
And the ball towards center field. Long run for Jones. He'll get there. Rasmus is retired.
It's about bringing up some of your young players and taking a look at them the last month of the season, especially the teams that are out of the pennant race. Here is Adam Jones playing deep in a tie ball game, and then sees that ball is going to be dying, and quickly comes in and makes the play.
So you talk about rosters expanding and the added access of players, and it just allows managers to do so many things that they wouldn't normally do. I mean, say in a close ball game you get a runner on, say your catcher hits a double, and you've got 3 catchers on your roster and 4 pinch runners. So he gets a double in the 3rd inning, you pinch run for him and steal 3rd, use your 2nd catcher, and you still got another in reserve. It just gives you so many different options. And you look at the Giants game last night.
That's where the biggest problem is.
Encarnacion hits a mile-high fly ball into center. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
How many pitchers did they use?
11.
11. In one game.
In one game. It was an 11-inning game, but mind you, they used 11 pitchers. And again, you look at Encarnacion, he wasn't happy with the umpire's call on the first pitch, and then wasn't happy that he popped up on the second one. He thought that breaking ball was a ball up and away. Yeah, they used 11 pitchers in that game against Arizona. And Joe Girardi did the other night against Baltimore.
Yeah. How many did he use there?
Yeah, I think he used 5 in an inning.
5?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Blue Jays are carrying 11 relievers now. I mean, you get into the 5th or 6th inning, you can go 1 pitcher for each batter as you start to match up.
And I just think that just changes the integrity of the ballgame. And I think you're really. And Buck is a firm believer of it. He's very adamant when he was an announcer at ESPN talking about the inequities of having an expanded roster in September. I think, and this is an idea I had for a number of years, I think you should allow the team to have expanded rosters in April. Why
is that?
Where you can get a good look at your players as the season unfolds. And then you make your decisions after a month of the season and say, okay, now you're going back. We had a chance. We used you in a couple different roles. Now we're going to pare it down. I think you should have an opportunity to make judgments in April that'll last you for 5 months. Just an idea. I'm not going to be conditioner.
I'm just thinking, isn't that what spring training is for?
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, how many times have you heard the phrase, don't get tricked by spring training?
Yeah, that's that alone, that saying alone.
You bring these guys up and you let Anthony Gosa and Sierra get their at-bats in the first month of the regular season. And balls hit right off the end of the bat by Lind, and Machado's got a good arm. So that's it, a 1-2-3 inning. Miguel Gonzalez has matched Brandon Moe pitch for pitch, but it'll be a new pitcher, Steve Delamar, on for the Jays. Delabar in a line drive that caught Brandon McCarthy on the side of the head, and he never appeared to lose consciousness, and hopefully he'll be okay. But boy, the Angels went into Oakland and just whipped up on the A's. They outscored them 21-5 in the 3-game sweep. New pitcher for the Jays will be the right-hander Steve Delabar, taking over for a very effective Brandon Morrow.
Very effective. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, just 2 earned runs. Now they're going to turn it over to that bullpen. And Steve Delabar is everything that they wanted when they traded with the Seattle Mariners. A power arm that they can bridge and use as a bridge to get to the back end of that bullpen.
First pitch at the knees at 95. Well, he's got a good arm. This has really stabilized the back end of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Lyon, Delabar, Lincoln, key additions to the bullpen.
One thing I like when I watch relievers, what's the hits per innings pitched? And Steve Delabar's numbers, I mean, they just jump off the page at you. Ball fouled down the line. 54 innings this year. 35 hits. It's all he's given up all season long. And then add to that he has struck out 75 batters in those 54 innings. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for from your relievers towards the end of a ball game. Those type of numbers.
Well, what happens when you have guys that pitch to contact? Those balls will sneak through the infield. You might have an error committed behind you, but when you've got strikeout pitchers like Delabar, Lincoln, and Lyon, the opponents are demoralized. They never get anything going. That's a foul ball. That ball was diving, and then I don't know how Chris Davis made contact with it. It looked like he fouled it off his foot. So now you'd have to think, well, now watch how he gets to this ball. I mean, that ball is down and in. Torrealba, I don't think he would have put a glove on it. Look where he's set up, and then look where the ball ends up.
Yeah, Torrealba's set up on the outside part of the plate.
Wow. That's a wicked splitter. Delabar with the strikeout. That's how the top half of the 7th begins.
Can't give up on it. A lot of movement against a left-hander.
Delabar worked in the first game on Monday afternoon. Pitched in the 7th inning. Gave up a walk, but nothing else. Faced 4 batters.
You know, I like what the Blue Jays have done right around the trade deadline. I think they went out and they saw that, you know, it was awfully hard to rebuild your bullpen in the offseason. You weren't getting the top-notch free agents, and you weren't getting guys, you know, who came here and this was their first choice. So they went out and they did some good scouting. They scouted Delabar, and they saw Lincoln, and they also tried to get some other relievers, some other organizations that didn't pan out.
Yeah, they checked around with the Mets and the Twins and looked around, and he even checked in with the Indians, who had some pretty good arms in their bullpen, but price tag was too high.
And they had some extra outfielders that they could deal, so there was a natural match, and they fixed it in season with big league, high upside young players. And now I think that's one part of the offseason that they can scratch that off their list. They don't need to go out and totally rebuild the bullpen. They've already done it.
Outside, 2-2. There's only one team in the American League that really has the blueprint on how you rebuild a bullpen, and that's the Tampa Bay Rays. They are the masters of that. A couple of years ago, they had to replace 8 relievers off a postseason team, and they didn't miss a beat. Tim Welke is going to say that the ball hit the dirt, and Torrealba is going to argue, I caught it. There was a splitter that Reynolds got a piece of. And Toriyama quickly shot his glove into the air to show off the baseball, but Tim Welke didn't buy it.
Not a lot of arguing from Toriyama, so he was just trying to sell it.
Another hard splitter. Not a great location, but enough deception that he was able to strike out Reynolds. Just enough movement to tie him up inside.
Just can't extend through that one. The best he was hoping for is maybe foul it off. Speaking of Tampa Bay, I would like to know what their bullet points are when they're trying to put their bullpen back together. Do we look for hard throwers? Do we look for guys a certain age or left-handers? Because they've done it, and they've done it a couple of times.
Yeah, they went out and brought in Fernando Rodney and transformed him into a dynamite closer. Quintanilla hits a fly ball into center, and Steve Delabar comes out of the bullpen and retires the O's in order. Couple of strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. 2-2. Now it's time to take a look at the Blue Jays minor league playoff games. And in the Florida State League in the North Division Championship, Dunedin loses for a second time to Lakeland. Tonight it was 3-0. So Lakeland wins that series. Brett Laurie played in the game tonight. He hit leadoff and went 0-3 with a walk. So that's some good news. J.P. Arancibia also caught in the game. He went 1-for-4 with a strikeout. So Dunedin's out of the picture. The Midwest League quarterfinals, they start tonight. Best of 3. Game 1 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's a 3-2 lead for Fort Wayne. Noah Syndergaard started that game for the Lansing Lugnuts. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, walked a batter, and struck out 5. And then, of course, Vancouver beat Everett 2 straight, so they will advance in the Northwest League playoffs. A broken bat looper down the left field line. Escobar around first. Here's the throw from McLeod. It is not in time. A leadoff double for Yunel Escobar.
Good sign right there. Breaks his bat, but it's got enough on it to get it down the left field line. And now Escobar, who's been playing hard baseball, he is thinking 2 right out of that box, and he beats that throw.
19th double of the season for Escobar. Leadoff double here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 2-2 ball game.
And they have to figure out a way right here, the Blue Jays, to get that run home. Any way you can.
Kelly Johnson knocked home the first Blue Jays run. He had an RBI double in the second. He squares to bunt and bunts it foul. I don't know if that was on his own or not, but Kelly Johnson drilled a double to the gap in right center his first time up. Situation like this at home, John Farrell might want him swinging away.
Yeah. Don't just get him over. How about get him in with one swing of the bat?
Well, you've got a lefty bat against a righty pitcher, and then you've got two right-handed batters behind him. Squaring again, and he bunts it up the third baseline. Gonzalez backhands. Not in time. Base hit for Kelly Johnson. He moves Escobar to third, picks up his second hit of the ball game.
Placed perfectly, deadens the ball. Machado, the third baseman, is going to go to third, so it's all on Miguel Gonzalez to try and make the play. Does everything right, but the punt is just too perfect. Johnson will beat it out. No outs, first and third. And this might be a situation where you see the Blue Jays use that safety squeeze. It certainly looks like the Baltimore Orioles are expecting it.
Rick Adair, the pitching coach, is out to the mound. The infielders will gather on the mound, and you can see Adair's first conversation is with Matt Wieters, the catcher. Then he turns his attention to Miguel Gonzalez, and they're talking about this situation. Obviously, the Blue Jays have used the safety squeeze, and the Orioles used the safety squeeze in Game 1 on Monday afternoon. Buck Showalter has decided to get Luis Ayala throwing in the Orioles bullpen. Now you can see Buck Showalter flash two as if he'd like them to turn a double play. And you never know if that's a decoy or not, because he's very out front of the dugout with that, saying looks like two up the middle. Okay.
Yeah. Just watch where the shortstop and the second baseman play, and that'll tell you what they're going to do.
Yeah, he had to holler at Mark Reynolds because he was off the first base bag. They got to hold Kelly Johnson close to the bag at first. Torrealba, the catcher. So the wheels are spinning in both dugouts. Long look from Torrealba down to Brian Butterfield. It's a 2-2 game. Orioles have outscored the Blue Jays in this series. Popped into the seats along the right side.
Got to take into consideration the guy at the plate handled the bat, really stay out of the double play. Can he lay a bunt down? If you squeeze here, that safety squeeze, you can get the run in and get a guy in the scoring position.
Ball on the strike. Johnson takes his lead at first. Torrealba checks his swing. No swing, according to Paul Schreiber. He's been busy on that check swing tonight. Escobar with the leadoff double at third base. With Danny Echeverria on deck. Three balls and a strike, nobody out. Kelly Johnson at first base has 10 steals this year, but he's not had a stolen base since July 15th. Not going, popped out of play. There's really no reason to start the runner at first base in this situation. Even if you hit into a double play, chances are you're going to score a run.
Too many bad things will happen, I think, if you start that runner. You can strike him out, throw him out, you can hit a line drive, and you run into a double play. Both of those scenarios, the run doesn't score. If the Orioles are going to trade 2 outs for a run this time of the game, I think you do it.
Foul back to the screen. Uriel Escobar got things going. A broken bat double down the left field line. He's now at third. He advanced to third on a bunt single by Kelly Johnson. Yorvit Torrealba battling against Miguel Gonzalez. It's a 3-2 count. Echeverria on deck. Johnson pleading with the first base umpire that was a balk. But Miguel Gonzalez disengaged with the rubber when he goes to third.
Not much of a
Boy,
step.
he didn't make much of a step toward third. That's what Johnson was arguing about. Another pop back.
He's getting some pitches to hit. And you can see Torrealba shaking his head.
Gonzalez has 4 strikeouts tonight. Blue Jays have 6 hits. They've doubled the Orioles in hits, but the score is even at 2. Escobar at third, Johnson at first. Another foul ball. The roof here at Rogers Center is starting to close, indicative of some weather in the area. It's a 9-pitch at bat. This next pitch will be the 9th. Up, playable. First baseman Mark Reynolds in foul ground, and that's a big out. So Gonzalez won that battle with Torrealba.
Yeah, he got some pitches to hit in that at bat. Fouled a couple more of them back, and then that last one looked like a fastball. That was up. He just couldn't get on top of it.
So now Torrealba's retired. Echeverria, the rookie, will come to the plate, and this screams for a bunt. And because of that, Matt Wieters, he didn't even wait for any direction from the dugout. He went out and talked to Gonzalez about this, and now he is getting some instruction from the dugout, and he flashes the signs for the defense of the first and third steal possibility.
If there is, again, a safety squeeze, you don't want to square around too early and give it away. This is where pitchers will step off or throw over and see if a young player will tip his hand.
Well, Kelly Johnson faked a break, trying to create some movement in the infield, and he did that. Both infielders moved towards second.
Yeah, they have that fake break play to get that second baseman to take a couple of steps towards the bag, thinking he's going to cover on a steal, and that opens up the whole right side of the infield to drop a bunt down.
1 out. Runners at the corners, and Matt Wieters called for time, and he wants another sign from the dugout.
Yeah, I think he thinks something's up right here on this pitch.
And he's a leader behind the plate. He thinks for himself a lot of times, and Buck Showalter will turn the game over to Matt Wieters. There's a bunt, and Gonzalez tries to shovel it home, but Escobar's safe. So A perfectly executed bunt by Echeverria. Escobar timed it perfectly, and it was almost impossible for Gonzalez. He tried to flip it with his glove, but really had no chance, and the Blue Jays take the 3-2 lead.
If you execute that play, it's almost impossible to defend it. Even though that bunt did not go very far, it's a do-or-die play by the pitcher. Anytime you can get the pitcher involved in the play, I think that's what you want to do. Gonzalez cannot make the play. The Blue Jays almost got a couple of extra bases when that ball got away. Here comes Escobar. He sees that it's down. That's what you do as the runner. You wait till you see that ball down, then you take off. Echeverria lays it down and gets the RBI.
Echeverria gets the RBI and the base hit and knocks Miguel Gonzalez out of the ball game. Luis Ayala will come on when we come back. Anthony Gose is the scheduled batters. The Blue Jays have taken a 3-2 lead. Telecast is presented by Authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Miguel Gonzalez is out of the ball game. 2 runners on base are his responsibility, and Luis Ayala will pitch for the 56th time this season.
If you pitch Stroke and Jim Johnson in the 8th and 9th inning when you have the lead, your next best option in a game like this is Luis Ayala. He can throw the ground ball, double play. That's what they're looking for right here. He sinks his fastball. He's got a little bit of a slider. And he has inherited 38 runners this year, and only 18 of them have scored.
Anthony Gose drilled a triple to the wall in left center his last time up. He was stranded at third.
Tough to give up on that pitch right there. It's that comeback fastball, two-seamer. That right-handers will start right at the hip of that left-handed batter, and if you give up on it, it's going to cut that inside corner.
Upstairs, 1-2. Blue Jays have taken a 3-2 lead here with a run in the 7th. And Danny Echeverria, a bunt single, knocks in Yunel Escobar, who started it off with a leadoff double off Miguel Gonzalez. Anthony Gose has changed his stance a bit at the plate, pushing his hands up over his shoulder. He's He's done a lot of adjusting since he's been back and forth to big leagues, and Dwayne Murphy knows it's the hardest place in the world to try to master hitting in the big leagues.
His hands were down right around the letters, and now they got him up. And what that does is it really gets you swinging down at the baseball, so you can create a little bit more backspin and get your hands in a good spot. That's a good spot right there.
Sharply hit off the glove of J.J. Hardy, and Kelly Johnson will stop at third. Anthony Ghost hit it hard to the backhand side of the shortstop.
Well, he's sure-handed, so that should be a base hit by J.J. Hardy. Good-looking swing right there.
Hey, fans, keep watching with the bases loaded. We're a grand slam away from awarding an 80-inch Sharp Quadron Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. And Rajay Davis has already homered tonight.
My point being on that ball, they haven't ruled on that ball yet by Ghost, but if J.J. Hardy can't come up with it, who is the best shortstop fielding percentage-wise, it's got to be a base hit.
They still haven't posted it on the scoreboard. Gonzalez gave up 7 hits. There's not been an error posted. The only thing that would keep it from being a hit was the fact that they could go to third base, but now they have called it a hit. There's a base hit to center field. Johnson's in from third. Here comes Echeverria around third. The field goes to third, gets past the third baseman, and Anthony Ghost will come in to score. Rajay Davis will end up at third. The Orioles throw it around, and it costs them 3 runs.
You know, that is what speed does. All you saw was blue going around the bases as the Orioles tried to stop some of those runners. First, the base hit by Davis right back through the middle. 2 runs are going to score because Echeverria's at second base. He's got good speed. Anthony Ghost didn't slow down at all when he was on first base. As soon as that ball got past the infield into the outfield, didn't slow down at all. He's rewarded as the ball got away into center field with the hit. Watch Jones comes up throwing, and once it got away, he's going to be awarded home. And here's Rajay Davis. He's going to go all the way to third base.
So Luis Ayala is out. The Blue Jays have broken it open here in the 7th. 6-2. Brian Mattis, the left-hander, for Colby Erasmus. Petersburg, and a little bit of life in the Blue Jays dugout. Junel Escobar got it going with a leadoff double, and he came in to score the go-ahead run, and the Blue Jays would then add 3 more runs. Rajay Davis had 2 RBIs. New pitcher will be the left-hander Brian Mattis, who started out the season as a starter, now working out of the bullpen.
Made 16 starts and 5 relief appearances. Now they needed a left-hander coming out of that bullpen, so they moved Mattis over there. He's got a good arm, good fastball. He's got a good curveball, a little bit of a changeup. Left-handers hitting just 175 against him. So the infield has to come in with just 1 out. And a lot of speed at third base in Rajay Davis.
Colby Rasmus against the left-hander Brian Mattis. Cuts on the first pitch. Two. Mattis, a former first-round pick, 4th overall in 2008. He was one of the top starting prospects in their system. 3 pitches, he strikes out Erasmus. 2 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Brian Mattis almost threw a strike on the first intentional walk pitch. And Buck Showalter talking to Rick Adair, the pitching coach. There's ball 2 as they will put Encarnacion on and pitch to Adam Lind.
John Farrell was talking the other day that at times versus left-handers, you missed J.P. Arancibia, Brett Laurie, Jose Bautista, so you can navigate yourself a little bit easier through this lineup if you're a left-handed pitcher.
Steve Delabar is the pitcher of record for the Blue Jays. He had a 3-up, 3-down top of the 7th inning. Now Rick Adair is out to talk about this situation with Brian Mattis.
Just a little reminder of what they want to do with Adam Lind.
The Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. It's the first time they've had a lead this month. I know it's only 5 games, but they have not led for any inning of this month. And the offense just hasn't been able to muster up any rallies, haven't been able to string anything together, but tonight they've scored 6 runs on 9 hits and 4 runs already this inning.
Last time they had more than 3 runs in an inning, or excuse me, more than 2 runs in an inning was August the 29th when they had 3 against CC Sabathia. So this is a very welcome sight right here. 4 runs in the 7th.
Adam Lind is the 9th Blue Jay to bat this inning.
You know, and the one thing that has been missing, and we talk about it a lot, and the Blue Jays talk about it, is that big base hit. The hit to keep the inning going, the hit to knock in the big runs. Gosa's single, I thought, was big, and then Rajay Davis's base hit was huge.
And with a good cut, it's an even count, 1-1. Rajay Davis had a big night. He hit his 7th home run back in the 3rd inning and then drove home 2 in this 7th inning. Anthony Gose has a pair of hits, a triple and a single. One and 2. Brian Mattis on in relief. Down and away. Mattis, we mentioned, started out the season into rotation and was sent back to AAA, and they moved him to the bullpen to give them a left-hander. For a while, they had just Mattis in the bullpen. There goes Encarnacion, but it's fouled back.
And it looks like they were giving him second base also.
Yeah, with 2 outs, there's no reason to open up a hole on the infield. They keep your middle infielders in their defensive positions, thinking that if Lynn puts it on the ground, you get out of the inning.
So they just let Encarnacion go ahead and steal. I think that's the way you do it. Get another guy in the scoring position.
There he goes again. Cut on and missed. Lynn strikes out. Mattis does his job. He comes out of the bullpen and picks up a couple of strikeouts. But the Blue Jays take the lead. Adeiny Echeverria got it started. A perfect squeeze by this. Escobar comes in to score. The road to Rio begins Friday with matchups including England, Italy, Portugal, and Russia. Visit sportsnet.ca/road to Rio for full match schedules. The World Cup already heating up for the World Cup in Rio. Right here on Sportsnet, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Steve Delabar in his second inning of relief. Had a perfect seventh inning with a couple of strikeouts, and now he's got a 4-run lead.
He made it look so easy last inning. I think that's why John Farrell has sent him back out there. We got lefties then, and Markakis and McLeod. I saw Aaron Oliver.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah.
He's standing by. Right now, he's throwing. He's just going to watch the game unfold. He knows what it takes to get ready, and once he's ready, he's just going to stand by and watch. Manny Machado. Ball on the strike. Machado had an RBI ground out in the second inning. He drove in the second run for the Orioles, and then had a double down the third baseline. Now he's got a base hit up the middle. Boy, he's going to be pretty good when he grows up.
Yeah. Dropping some head, turning around that 95-mile-an-hour heater.
So John Farrell was going to give Steve Delabar the right-hander, and Machado wins the battle. Leadoff single. It'll be Darren Oliver into the ball game to face Nick Markakis, top of the Orioles order. Blue Jays with the lead. Here comes the veteran. Gonzalez, he goes 6 innings, a good outing, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 6. He left with the score tied 2-2. His mound opponent for the Orioles, Miguel Gonzalez, goes 6 1/3. He's in line for the loss as he gives up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, didn't walk a batter and struck out 4. The Blue Jays were able to get to Gonzalez, and he gave up a leadoff double, a single to Kelly Johnson, and then Ayala came out of the bullpen, and the Blue Jays scored 4.
They got 3 infield hits in that inning, and they turned it into 4 runs. Darren Oliver is going to come out now with the left-hander at the plate at Nick Markakis, and another one, Nate McLeod, a couple of hitters away. He's been outstanding this year. 3-2, throwing a couple of saves for Oliver, and he's only walked 12 batters.
Markakis hits a fly ball to left. Rajay Davis gets there, and Markakis is retired. It's the first out of the inning.
The one thing that a lot of these young pitchers for the Blue Jays, if you're paying attention all season long, is how Darren Oliver goes about his business. He doesn't have that blazing fastball. Probably topped you out at just 88 miles an hour. But he knows how to pitch. Sets up hitters. Uses his breaking ball. Smart.
And his effort level is always the same, so he can repeat his delivery. He's seen every situation imaginable. He was a starter, and he's been a very good reliever. So he comes in the ball game. He's okay. I just got to make this pitch and that pitch and walk off the mound.
I know that sounds easy, and he makes it look easy.
He thought that was a strike. Toriyama dropped the ball, but it looked like it was a strike. Not sure what the count is. I think Oliver's not really sure either. There's a strike. Now it's 3-1.
But if you're a young pitcher, just watch him, how he works, and how he sets up hitters, and then understand effort and consistency.
Breaking ball got away from Hardy, will take a walk. First and second, 1 out. Fans, it's never too late to get suited up for the 2012 baseball season at jaysshop.ca. Jayshop.ca has the largest online selection of authentic Blue Jays caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. Visit jayshop.ca or call 1-877-JAYS-SHOP. Running out of time to get your Blue Jays t-shirts and jerseys. Pinch hitter for the Orioles is Lou Ford. Lou Ford pinch ran in the ball game last night. He started in the opener on Monday afternoon. He was the DH in that game. Takes the first pitch. It's downstairs. Ford is batting for Nate McLeod, the left fielder. There's a breaking ball strike.
Blue Jays have an off day tomorrow, so they can stretch it out just a little bit with their closer.
And he hasn't pitched a lot of late.
Just haven't had the opportunity. It's like Darren Oliver. Last time he worked was 6 days ago. Those opportunities just haven't been there for John Farrell's closer and setup man.
Yeah, and you never want to just send him out there when you're not sure what tomorrow's going to bring. Ford may have chased the ball. Looked like it was off the plate inside. Top of the 8th inning, Blue Jays lead at 6-2. Orioles threatening to get back in the ball game. Full count. Manny Machado singled to center. J.J. Hardy walked. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Bounced foul outside of third. Steve Delabar started this inning, gave up the leadoff single to Machado. Then Oliver came on. John Farrell brought in Oliver to face Nick Markakis, and Markakis flied out to left. Then Hardy walked. Little looper down the left side. Rajay Davis on the run. That is a foul ball. Laz Diaz called it foul. DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach, never hesitated as he went toward the umpire. Now here comes Buck Showalter. DeMarlo Hale couldn't believe that Laz Diaz called it foul. It looked like it hit on the chalk line. Watch Diaz watching this ball come down. That's a fair ball. And Diaz immediately threw his arms in the air. Boy, it looked like it hit right on the chalk line.
Yeah, all it has to do is get a piece of that foul line, and it looked like it got about half the baseball right there and into the stands. And I think Buck Showalter has an argument that there's no replay
yet. This ball bounces down on that artificial surface, and that white line is painted onto that artificial surface, so there's no dust or chalk. In the past, that would be a chalk line. If it hits the line, it'd kick up a cloud of smoke, and you'd know.
Or dirt, like there is in the warning tracks in other ballparks that show you there's a mark that's left when the ball hits it.
Another 3-2 pitch to Lou Ford. This one's popped up back near the screen. Toriyama near the dugout, but it's out of play. So Lou Ford battling tough against Darren Oliver.
He has that ability to cut that fastball either inside or on the outside part of the plate. Something away. Ford has been on all the pitches on the inner half.
Hits this ball right to Echeverria. Takes the short hop. What a double play. Oh my, the rookie Adbany Echeverria held his ground at third. Took the short hop, and as we have seen frequently, throws a strike to second to start the double play. Blue Jays are out of the eighth. They go to the bottom of the eighth with a 4-run lead. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Blue Jays have a chance to finish up this homestand with a win. That would improve their home record to 3-4. What a job by Echeverria. It's a hot shot. Hit right at him at third, but boy, watch him hold his ground and then make a good throw.
On the line, too. Stay right with you. When you're a shortstop, that ball, that alley, it comes right at you. It makes it a little bit easier. When you're playing third base, that ball hooked you. You can see how much it moved. He stayed right with it and started a nice 5-4-3 double play.
Tommy Hunter, a right-hander, just called back up from the minor leagues. Hunter has made 20 starts for the Orioles this year. Now he's working out of the bullpen. Lou Ford, who came in the game as the pinch hitter for Nate McLeod, takes over defensively in left. Yunel Escobar started the rally in the 7th. Escobar had a double down the left field line. He came around to score the go-ahead run on a perfect bunt by Danny Echeverria. Ground ball. Big hop for the third baseman, Machado. Escobar's hop.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful downtown Toronto as the Blue Jays are wrapping up this 7-game homestand. They have a 6-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kelly Johnson's had a productive night. Had an RBI double in his first at-bat. Had a bunt single in the 7th and came around to score the 4th Blue Jay run. 50 RBIs now for Johnson.
He gets into trouble when he starts pulling that front head. That front shoulder, and the head follows right behind it. That time Hunter threw him a nice little sinker. Pulled off of it just a little bit.
Ground ball. Quintanilla waits on it and throws Johnson out at first. 2 down. So the catcher, your Vitor Alba, will stand in against Tommy Hunter. Troy Alba's gone 0 for 3. He popped up with 2 on in the 7th. It looked to be a big at bat, but then he was picked up by Danny Echeverria, who had the squeeze bunt base hit, and that started the 4-run inning.
Biggest play in that inning, I think, the bunt by Johnson where he was safe, as it turned out.
That put it first in third, nobody out.
Yeah.
And gave the Blue Jays all kinds of options.
If the Orioles could have gotten out there, and then they pop up Torrealba, then you got a guy on third with 2 outs, and you got to come up with a big base hit.
Yeah.
Maybe it changes the mindset of the pitcher or the batter. But Johnson's bunt was perfect, and he just outran the baseball for an infield hit.
Tommy Hunter, a little bit extra juice on that fastball, pitching out of the bullpen. That was 98.
98 with a little late life to it, a little cutter right there. We've seen it all the time from relievers when they go out there into the bullpen. Former starters, they go to the bullpen. They've got 1 inning. Give me everything you got. There's another 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hunter came to the Orioles along with Chris Davis in the Koji Uehara deal. Uehara going to Texas. The relay.
Advantage Orioles on that one.
Yeah,
that's a steal.
Sure is a good move. You get a bullpen guy for a power hitting left-handed hitter in Chris Davis, and potentially a starter in Tommy Hunter, who made 20 starts for the ball club this year. Bouncing ball. Hunter grabs it and tosses to first to end the inning. Tommy Hunter comes out of the bullpen and has a 1-2-3-8th inning. We'll go to the ninth. Casey Jansen out of the bullpen. It's not a save situation, but the Blue Jays need him to close out the ninth. Jansen's been terrific all season long. Looking to close this one out, give the Blue Jays a win. The Blue Jays will see the Boston Red Sox over the weekend at Fenway Park, and then Boston comes right here to Rogers Center Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 14th, 15th, and 16th. One night game on Friday night, couple of day games Saturday and Sunday. 4 tickets to the Red Sox Blue Jays series. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 or log on to order your Blue Jays Red Sox tickets at bluejays.com. Casey Jansen in a non-save situation.
Last worked on the 31st, and that was the 3rd day straight that he picked up a save. He worked on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of August, picking up saves 17, 18, and 19. He hasn't had that opportunity now. So a chance, even though it isn't a save situation, for the Blue Jays to get a much needed W.
Yep, John Farrell will give him a save in his mind for sure. Tough part of the Orioles lineup. Jones, Wieters, and Davis. Darren Oliver pitched the 8th inning after Machado started it off with a single against Delabar. Then Oliver came in and ended the inning. So Oliver goes an inning, walked the batter, and that's it. If you've heard that before, that's been pretty consistent all year long.
Throws an inning, faces 3 batters. What's new?
Three and 1 to Adam Jones, leading off the ninth.
When you don't pitch as regularly as Casey Jansen hasn't pitched, again, the last time he pitched was on August the 31st, you lose that touch and feel. You're not into that good spot just yet. You might feel a little strong, and right there walks his first batter.
Man at first base, nobody out. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Hopefully Brandon McCarthy will be okay, and the Oakland A's, boy, they were swept by the Angels, who are trying to make a little noise here in September. Bouncing ball. Kelly Johnson goes to short, back to first, and Escobar throws it high. As Jones was all over Yunel Escobar, as he always is. Adam Jones plays the game right no matter what the score is, and he kept the Blue Jays from turning a double play.
Yeah, all the way to the end, all 27 outs. That's the way he plays. Still had a shot at turning the double play against Matt Wieters. Taylor made right at the second baseman. There's Jones right on top of him. And all he has to do is just clear himself. And what I mean by that is touch the bag, clear, get yourself out of the way, and then throw it. That time he jumped, tried to set his feet and throw, and that's why the ball sailed on him.
Jones went straight into the bag. Nothing wrong with the slide at all. 1 out. Wieters at first. Chris Davis. Davis has been shut out so far tonight. He walked and struck out twice. Struck out once against Morrow, once against Delabar. Hit hard but foul.
One of the improvements that Casey Jansen has shown this year is his improvement against left-handers. He's able to paint that outside corner with that cut fastball. It felt like there were times in the past where guys were cheating to get to his fastball, so he's been able to go back door on him. It's been great for him.
And that has been a very good pitch. The slow breaking ball. The curveball gets Chris Davis, who strikes out 3 times tonight.
Boy, that's a good pitch. Following up a couple of hard fastballs, you throw the timing of the batter off by looping that curveball in there.
The Orioles are down to their final out. Mark Reynolds 0 for 3. It's a high, deep drive into center. Rasmus looking up. Reynolds has just hit a 2-run homer. His second home run of the series. And a 3-run home run in last night's game. And it is a 2-run game. 6-4 Blue Jays. Reynolds has got a lot of power. That's home run number 18 for the Orioles first baseman.
Gotta strike, throw strikes. You gotta challenge him. Reynolds knows that, and he picks on that first pitch and homers to left field.
Mark Quintanilla picks a breaking ball downstairs. Quintanilla is starting at second tonight. Ball on the strike. Tried to lay off, but it went too far.
Check swing. It also sounded like it might have been a tip, but late life and good movement.
Ball gets away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Casey Jansen trying to close things out here in the ninth. The final game of this 7-game homestand. closes it out. Steve Dellamore wins the ball game. Rajay Davis, a 3 RBI night. He's 7th home run of the season. And Anthony Gose had a couple of hits, including a thrilling triple to the gap in left center.
And a 4-run inning. That was in the 7th inning. A big inning for the Blue Jays. And they did something they haven't been doing on this homestand. They strung some hits together. They kept the inning going. Jumped out to that 4-run lead, and then the bullpen took it on home.
Well, the Blue Jays finish up the homestand 3-4. They'll have an off day tomorrow. We'll see you Friday night from Fenway. Stay tuned for Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osback.